Coming up on Network Africa. Protesters demand the resignation of South African President Jacob Zuma. Guinea is set to hold local elections after protests over delays. And later, youths in Somalia are urged to solve the myriad problems facing internally displaced people in their country. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm Joke Rogers. We begin with stories that made headlines over the weekend.
A prominent American investigator of the illegal ivory and rhino horn trade was found dead in his Nairobi home with a stab wound in his neck on Sunday. Esmond Bradley Martin, 75, had spent decades tracking the movement of animal products, mostly from Africa to markets in Asia. He had been about to publish a report exposing how the ivory trade has shifted from China to neighboring countries, according to Paula Kahumbu, Chief Executive of Wildlife Direct, an organization focused on protecting elephants in Kenya. Bradley Martin's research was instrumental in China's decision to ban its legal rhino horn trade in 1993. It also pressured China to end legal ivory sales, a ban that came into force on January 1. Singer Rihanna was in Senegal last week to champion education for the world's poorest countries. The pop star is the first global ambassador of Global Partnership for Education, an initiative that supports 65 developing countries to ensure basic education for every child. Speaking at the financing conference in Dakar, Rihanna thanked France's Emmanuel Macron and Senegal's Macky Sall for co-hosting the event. She also thanked donors and attendees for making tremendous progress. According to the partnership, GPE aims to raise $3.1 billion over the next 2 years to ensure access to classrooms for 870 million children in 65 developing countries. About 246 million children worldwide are missing out on school.
In South Africa, pro- and anti-Zuma marchers have clashed outside Luthuli House, which is the headquarters of the ruling African National Congress. This comes as the National Working Committee of the party is summoned for a special meeting. The top 6 officials of the party who had met with President Jacob Zuma at his official residence in Pretoria yesterday for talks with the 75-year-old, which failed to secure his departure. The traditional State of the Nation address is expected to be delivered by the president on Thursday, the 8th of February, but the opposition parties have already indicated they are not prepared to listen to the president. Among the pro-Zuma groups is the Black First Land First group, which is demanding that the president be allowed to complete his term at least.
What we are simply saying is that the public have lost confidence in Comrade Zuma. And we as a members of the ANC, we have lost confidence in Comrade Zuma. The amount, what we are simply saying is that we want him not to have a lot of burden, because there's a lot to deal with it. There's 790-something criminal charges against him. So we want him to go and deal with those cases, to have enough time to deal with those things. That's what we're saying. We're saying Zuma must relax, go and face his charges so that he can have enough time. So we don't want him to continue to embarrass and destroy the future of our country. So Zuma must go.
Well, joining us to discuss this is our Johannesburg Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia. Betty, you know, there's so much going on in South Africa. A lot of people want the president out before his term is completed. and some others are actually saying he should be allowed to stay. What's going on regarding the fate of the president at this time?
I don't know if you can hear me, but as you said, there is a lot going on, a lot of meetings, a lot of engagements. This evening, we understand that the president is meeting with the Zulu King, King Goodwill Zwelithini. We have the National Working Committee of the African National Congress meeting in Lutuli House, and there were meetings at the weekend as well. So a lot of speculations, a lot of fake news as well. We had something going around saying the president is giving his letter of resignation, but that has been discounted, saying that it's untrue. So at the end of today, we'll see what the ANC will come out with. But today's protest was a grouping of the ANC calling itself Defend Lutuli House, saying they didn't want the Black First Land First, which is a breakaway party from the EFF, that's the Economic Freedom Fighters, saying that they want the president to complete his term as well and go through with the programs of the party. That's the development program, the National Development Program, and all that they have read out. And they should allow the president to complete his term. So that's where we are. We're waiting. There is indeed a lot of speculation and a lot of engagements going on. We heard them say, a lot of people say that the president is refusing to step down and that he's given some conditions, which they're still considering. But the NEC has the power to recall the president, and he said if he's asked to leave office, he would leave. That's the party that put him there in the first place.
Who are the top officials present during the meeting with the president yesterday?
Top 6 officials are
usually
the president of the party, the president of the ANC, the deputy, the secretary general, the treasurer general, and yes, about 6 of them. That's what they call the top 6, the positions. And you have, making up the NEC, you have the other groupings like the Youth League and the Women's League and representatives of all those other groupings. But the top 6 are these ones, and they've been going around to the different provinces, speaking to people, probably to garner support again and trust for the ANC. But they have engaged with the president, as the current leader of the ANC had said. That's Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that we're still engaging with the president to get. I know they're trying to get a dignified way. I don't know if that can ever happen as it is. We know that on the 22nd, the EFF has filed for the vote of no confidence, another vote of no confidence against the president. It's either that or he resigns, but they're trying. He's being boxed now. We don't know how that's going to play out.